Imagine, if you will, an investment app that allows you to trade without commissions, that allows you to open an account without a minimum deposit requirement, and gives you free stocks. Yes, today we're talking about the Webull investing app for beginners. I want to talk about this. You know, when I first started with Webull, I was like, whoa, there is just so much information, so many graphs, so many points of research that for a beginner, it can be a little bit overwhelming. My point of this video is to help the old me and hopefully help you in getting started the right way. I grew my portfolio from $100 up to $6,000 as of the recording of this video in just the course of about 4 to 5 months. So I want to share with you how to get started the right way. This is also a very popular comment. A lot of questions are being asked. So thank you everybody that comments. And if you haven't commented on one of my videos, drop a line down below. I'd love to hear from you guys. Ask and you shall receive. You're my favorite deputy. All right, let's get started with the video. Webull, here's exactly what we're talking about in today's video. By the way, I'm saving you a ton of time. If you look down below, you can actually see the chapters of this video. Hop to whichever one suits you best. You can watch the whole thing for the full value. But if there's something that you're not too sure about, hop on over, check that out. I hope that saves you some time. If it does, tap the like button down below. We're gonna talk about first how to actually open an account and take you through that process. And the number 2 thing is how to transfer money into this account and out of the account. So let's say you wanna take some money out and put it back in your bank account. I'm gonna show you exactly how to do that. Next up, we're gonna talk about how to research a stock or an ETF, otherwise known as an exchange traded fund. Then we're gonna buy a stock and sell a stock live in real time on this video because I want to share with you exactly point by point how this works. So follow along with me. Let's get started. I'm going to pop up my screen right over here. Now, what you probably want to do is get advantage of a free stock today. Down below in the description, there's a link. Click the link and download Webull. Because you do that here on this video, you and I both get rewarded. Here's how it works. You'll get a free stock simply just for signing up. You don't have to put any money into it. You just sign up, you get a free stock. Then if you deposit a minimum of $100, you'll get anywhere from a second to a third to a fourth stock, depending on the promotion that Webull is running at the time. So take advantage of that. What you could do, get the free stocks, cash it out, or get the free stock and watch it grow over time, and then decide how you want to charter the course here on the Webull app. So click down below, get your free stock, and then follow along with me. We're gonna start off with how to open your account with Webull. So you're gonna download it from the App Store, you're gonna get it all set up, and then right here, you're going to see step by step in the app how to sign up. I'm gonna pop it over here so you can follow along with me, guys. As soon as the app opens, tap open an account. It's gonna take you to this screen right here. On this screen, you're gonna put in what country you're from as well as your information, name, gender, date of birth, marital status, all that good stuff, and yes, social security number. And a lot of people ask me, why do I have to put in my social security number? Don't feel too comfortable doing that. Guys, here's the deal with the SSN. You have to put in a social security number, especially in the United States, because it's actually law for tax reporting season. Anytime that you may sell a stock and get profits from that stock or get dividends, they have to report that to the government. Then click over to the next screen. It's going to ask you a little bit about your employment status. You can just fill that out, whatever works best for you. Next up is identification. They want to make sure you're not some type of bot or scammer or one of those people that comment on my videos that say, go check out so-and-so on Instagram. They're making me tons of money. I'm tired of those comments that are bots, and they're making sure you're not one of them. So you do got to identify yourself and scan in your driver's license or something like that. And it's more for your protection so people don't steal your private information. Now, when you do that, you're gonna scan it in, get it all set up, and then you're gonna click over to the application terms and agreement. You gotta kind of go through these steps as you see here on the screen right now. The application will pend. Sometimes it happens immediately, especially if you're in the middle of the week and you sign up for a Webull account. But if it's during a holiday or on a Friday right before the weekend, just know it may take a couple of days for them to activate your account. Now, once your account comes online and you get your bank account linked up, then transfer $100 in. You'll already have a stock or two waiting for you just for signing up. And then when you deposit $100 at least, it'll give you another couple stocks, depending again on the promotion. Now, right up here, check this out. You're gonna hop over to the menu on the far right-hand side. Click on that or tap on that, and then click on My Free Stock. In this area is where it's gonna provide you with your free stock when it's time to open it. I actually have, sitting right here, 2 free stocks. Why don't you say we open them up? Just simply hit get. It'll pop up the stock. There I got DVAX for $9.74. And my second stock is another DVAX for $9.75. So those are my 2 free stocks for this. You get that for signing up, like I said, for depositing. And then if you invite any of your friends and family, you also get bonuses for that as well. Let's talk about transferring money in, because that's a very important step if you want to get yourself started and get money flowing in so you can invest it. So what you want to do is click on the little Webull funny looking icon in the center of this app. And there you go. Here is my personal portfolio. But what you want to do is right there on the third button down, you'll see it says transfer, and it's like a little gold dollar sign with the circle around it. Click on that, and then you can see what's going on here. You can deposit, withdraw, transfer stocks in or out of Webull, like if you're coming from Robinhood or anything like that, you can certainly do that, and you can look at your transfer history. So for this particular example, we're gonna hit deposit. And then if your bank account's not already linked, it's gonna ask you to do that first. Whatever works best for you. I have my checking account linked up to Webull, just makes it easy for me. You can do whatever works best for you. Just keep in mind certain savings accounts do have a limit on how much you can transfer either per day or per period. So please keep that in mind if you link a savings account instead of a checking account. But you can invest as much as you want. You can see though there is a daily maximum of $50,000, and if you're bringing in $50,000, power to you. My hope is that you're out of debt and that you're living your ultimate sweet life. That's amazing. But I'm gonna be a little cheap and I'm only gonna transfer $5 in. That's all I'm gonna do. So you type in the amount, I got my $5 in there, and I'm gonna hit transfer to Webull. It's gonna then pop up a small little confirmation screen just to let you know, okay, this is what's going on. They're gonna estimate that it arrives on, in this example, February 19th. The date is the 12th. So it is a Friday, we're gonna have to go over the weekend, and it's actually President's Day weekend, so blah, blah, blah. The money will arrive by the 19th. So I'm gonna say, yep, sounds good, by clicking that little box and hitting confirm. You're gonna wait for it to submit. Hopefully it doesn't take too long. And there you go, there's your confirmation screen. So your deposit request has been submitted. It will be completed within 5 business days. You can get provisional credit as instant buying power later today during business hours, then you can start trading. So they do give you a provisional credit, a buying power, before your money actually transfers over from your bank account into Webull. It kind of makes it nice. So that way you can start the process in advance of trading without waiting for that long process to begin. And that's really important, especially if you're trying to get in on building your portfolio over time and you don't want to miss out on a potential buying opportunity. So you can either make another deposit if you want, or you can just hit the back button and then you'll come back to the screen we were just at. Now you can also withdraw. If you tap on withdrawal, you're gonna see 2 different things depending on your account. Now, once you hit $2,000 in your account or higher, it allows you to trade on margin. I'm gonna consider that to be an advanced tactic, and you should not deal with that as a beginner. I don't like to do it. I only trade with money that I physically own, and margin basically means that you're borrowing money from the brokerage, and that can get you into a world of mess if you don't know what you're doing. So you can see I have a cash balance of $482.61. If I wanted to, I could take that $482, transfer it back into my checking account, and it happens relatively quickly. So for the example of today, I actually did 2 different withdrawals because I wanted to see how it worked. The very first one I did a couple of days ago on February 7th. Now today is the 12th of February, by the way, in case you're wondering, and it's like long into the future. It's the 12th of February, but on the 7th, I decided to say, hey, here's $3.50 in my cash account. Take that out and give it back to me in my checking account. So what happened, it actually happened quicker than I thought. I submitted it on the 7th, they reviewed it, they completed it, and it actually came into my bank account on the 9th, so it only took 2 days. But this one worked pretty well, and it showed up in my bank account as expected, $3.50. And then I said, well, let's get a little bit more, what do you think? So I decided to transfer $500. Luckily, some growth that I had, and I said, I'm gonna take advantage of this growth and I'm gonna transfer it back into my checking account. And I was able to pay a bill with it. I was pretty excited. So I initiated this one the next day on February 8th. And then on February 10th, just 2 days ago, the $500 did indeed show up into my checking account, no issues there. The reason I go into this detail is I think it's important because sometimes people are wondering, okay, sure, I can transfer money into the brokerage, but is it easy to get it out if I need it? And honestly, $3 or $500, it was pretty darn easy to me, transferred right out, and onward it came in a matter of 2 days. So that's how you transfer money in and out. Next up, let's talk about how you research stock. There are 2 different things to think about when it comes down to understanding stocks. You have individual stocks, and you have what I like, ETF, exchange traded funds. Think about it this way. If you have 1 share of Apple stock, and all of a sudden Apple decides they're going out of business. God forbid, I don't think that would happen, but if they did, all your money is tied up in Apple, which means if their stock drops, you're dropping with them. An exchange traded fund, otherwise known as an ETF, is a basket of multiple different stocks. So you might have an Apple in this basket, you might have a little bit of Google, you might have a little bit of Tesla. And if one of them drops, yeah, maybe the ETF goes down a little bit, but because you're protected by having a basket of other stocks within the ETF that you selected, you don't get as impacted as you would having a single stock. So just keep that in mind. You can do either one, whatever works best for you. But I personally like ETFs, and I really like ETFs that pay me monthly in the form of a dividend. Don't worry, I'll get to all of that in just a moment. So back here on the app, go all the way over and click on where it says watch list. There's a couple things we're gonna do here. The very first thing is right here on the search magnifying glass. If you click on that, you can type in whatever you want. If we wanna type in Apple, that's the ticker symbol for Apple. You click on it, and then it's gonna give you some details. Now this is when I first got into this app, I'm like, oh my gosh, look at all of this stuff. What does all this mean? Let's make it easy for beginners. You're gonna click this little funny thing on the right-hand side. See that? And then we're gonna click on indicators. Now, you're gonna see MA, EMA is selected. I'm gonna undo some of these things. In fact, I'm gonna do all of them. More, just make sure nothing else is selected. Okay. So those are indicators based on research. And if you want, as you become a little bit more intermediate and advanced in trading, you can certainly add all those indicators if it works for you. But I just like seeing what is the stock price worth and how has it been trending. And that's exactly what we did. By clicking on that little thing, clicking on indicators, you can decide if you want to have all the crazy lines like that, oh my gosh, or you just unclick them, boom, 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 and there you have the main graph. And then if you touch the screen and you click and hold like I'm doing right here, you can see what the price was on any given day. 10/13/2017, it was a Friday, and Apple was trading for $39. Now, what are they at now? As you can see at the very top, 134.20 at the current moment. So that's how you do that. You can also use this little bar at the top, 1 day, 5 day, 1 month, and so on to the maximum allowed graph. And you can see Apple's doing great. So anyway, another thing you could also do is click on the news. That's important when you're researching a company to see if there's anything big coming up or any big announcements that may impact that stock or ETF. Then there's also comments. Now this is kind of funny. This particular tab is all about people that are commenting on what they think about this particular stock or ETF. And some of this can be kind of funny because you'll see some memes that pop up. Obviously, these are not professional investors or any type of personal finance people. These are just people that have some type of funny idea. And look at all that. So anyway, that's what that's all about. You can also vote if you think it's gonna be bullish or bearish. And it looks like I did that at one point. I said it was gonna go up. That's what bullish means. And so I earned 1 point. Another thing I would recommend on this particular research is to look at your analysis. So you can see what the actual investment recommendations from actual analysts are saying. Right now, based on 40, they're saying to buy Apple. They're feeling good about it. 50% say buy. You can see it says 27.5% say strong buy, and then hold, underperform, and sell. So that's always something to keep in mind. But remember, it's you don't have to fly by the night of whatever these people are saying. You got to do what's best for you. But if you're a beginner, it's always good to kind of lean on people that know what they're doing, and kind of this is their job, is to analyze stocks and the stock market. So I always like to hop over there and see what's going on. You can then look at on any of the press releases from the company, and typically this is where they talk about their dividends or earnings per share. So that's what's going on. You got the quotes, you got the news, you got the comments, you got the analyst ratings and all that stuff. So now one last thing in the research section before we move on to buying our stock or ETF is understanding that you can do this without actually putting your money up front. So let's say, for example, you want to see how something will trend over time, or you want to just buy into the stock market without using your hard-earned money. You can actually do that with Webull, 2 different ways. First way is you can go over to the menu that we were on earlier, all the way over to the right-hand side. We're going to click on that, and then we're going to go down here to where it says paper trading. What they do is they give you a $1 million portfolio. Unfortunately, none of the money is yours, but you can actually take that $1 million and invest it in whatever you want. And I did this when I first got Webull, and actually, I'm doing pretty good. Look at that, $300,000 up. I like that. Wish it was real. This is kind of a cool way to dabble in the market to see how things are working without actually putting your real money up on the deck. So that's one way to do it. Another way is to hop back to the watch list that we were at earlier. So we're gonna go all the way to the other end of the bar here to the watch list. And I'm going to show you one of the positions I have here in Webull, and that is O. So you can either type in O, or I have it in my recent down below here, but I'm gonna type in O. That is the actual ticker symbol of Realty Income. And that's the name of this particular equity. So I'm gonna click on that, and there she is. Okay, so what you can do instead of actually trading, you'll see at the bottom it has a blue trade button. If you click that blue button, that does mean that you're gonna be using your own money. So in order to not do that, another way you can do this is click on the More button right down below. You click on More, and then you hit Simulated Holdings. Now, I recently did this, so I'm gonna already have a simulated holding, but I'll do another one for you right now. Let's say we wanna buy 5 shares of this at $62 on 2/12. That's today. I'm gonna hit Save, and then Add Succeeded. Okay, so here we are. Here's the market value. You can see I did one a little bit earlier today in the total of 50 shares, and that's how that one's going. And you can see it went up a cent from that 50 shares I bought at $62.25. This is all not real. This is just simulated to see what would happen if you would have made a move on a particular day. So I have currently a total balance. What I'm actually gonna do, let me show you my portfolio first. And then again, in order to do that, center button right there, that little Webull logo, click on that. It's gonna verify your Face ID or your touch, whatever you use to log in. And here is my account. So I have a total of $6,250-ish. And again, I started with only $100, and through some deposits and promotions and things like that, I've built up to $6,000. And this is what I currently have. So I'm gonna start from the bottom. I have NEO, and that is a single stock. NEO, I just have a lot of faith in electric vehicles. That's why I bought into NEO. And you can see right here, it has a quantity of 25. That's how many shares I own. And then right below it is how much it is worth at the current moment. So my 25 shares are currently worth $1,495.75. We're gonna move over to the next column. You can see right now it's trading for $59.81. Right below that, that $52.319 that you see, that's my average share price. So as you continue to invest, if you invest when the market dips, when you invest on a schedule when the market goes up, that will let you know what your average dollar cost was. A great video I have on that will be linked up above if you want to check out how to dollar cost average to make the most profit. And then right on the very far right-hand side is your open profit and loss. If it's in the green, things are great. If it's in the red, it's not a good day, but that is particular for the day, okay? So that's just today. I'm up $186. There's good days, there's bad days, whatever. The other single stocks I have are Snap, which is Snapchat. I have 7 shares of that. I have AMT. I have Lattice, LSCC, and Funko. So that's what I got in single stocks, but what I really like within Webull is my ETFs. I have SPHD, KBWY, PFF. I like these because these particular ETFs pay a monthly dividend. So what's cool about a monthly dividend, guys, if you're still starting out with this, is that when a company pays a monthly dividend, it gets passed on to you based on how many shares you own of the company at the time. So a great way to do this is you can take a look at this and go over to NASDAQ. That's a website I love to go to and type in, for example, let's look at O as an example. If I look at their monthly dividend payouts, right now the latest one was 23 cents per share. The more shares I have, you multiply that by 23 cents, the more money I'm gonna make. So as your portfolio grows over time, especially if you have a ton of money to invest, it's a great extra income that you can get either on a monthly or a quarterly basis just based on dividend paying stocks. Pretty darn cool. So make sure you subscribe. I have more information coming on how I'm gonna continue to grow this. You gotta make sure that you don't miss out on that video when it drops, guys. I'm gonna keep you updated through my Webull journey. But what do you say, guys? Isn't it about time we buy a stock? Yeah, let's buy a stock. What do you think? So let's talk about buying this, as I mentioned. Right now, you're gonna see at the top your net account value, and then the market value, cash balance, day trade at BP, and overnight BP. For beginners, once you reach $2,000, you can trade on margin, as I mentioned earlier. I don't recommend it. Don't borrow money from the brokerage because they can call that and then you're getting yourself in a position where you owe them money back. Don't get yourself trapped up in that as a beginner. Only focus on your cash balance. This is actual cash that you earn, that you have in your Webull account that can be either transferred out or used to purchase stocks or ETFs. That's the thing to focus on. So I'm not worried about having $15,256 of day trade. I'm more focused on my cash balance of $482.61. So what I'm gonna do is I wanna buy a little bit of everything. And there's two ways I can do it. I can click this little quick trade button right here, and then that's gonna take me over and ask me what I want to invest in. I can go and hit O, I can click on it, take a look at it, and I can do a couple different things. I can buy it at the market price, which is what it's set at right now. So I can buy one share at the market price, which it's currently going for $62.28, okay? Now, I can also set a limit. And I'm not gonna go over everything. Of course, you have the stop limit, the OTO, you have the selling short and all that kind of stuff. I consider that a little bit more immediate and advanced. I want to stick to beginners only. And the beginners really should focus on market, and they should really focus on limit. So market means you're just buying it at what it is right now as long as the market's open. Limit, on the other hand, is let's say you want to buy it, but you think it might go down in price a little bit. So today, I think it's going to drop in the next couple minutes while the stock market's open. It might drop to $62. I can set that at $62 and the fact that I want to buy one share at $62. What'll happen is it'll ask me, do you want to do it time and force on the day or good till cancel? That's what GTC means. What this means is that if I select day, it is not going to execute a buy order of O until it reaches $62. If it never reaches $62 and it stays above that, it's not going to buy and it's going to cancel out my order, and all that cash on hand will stay in my brokerage account. Simple as that, okay? Now, if it does hit $62 or below, it'll immediately try to execute that order at that price. That's what's really cool. So 62 bucks, boom, it's going to trigger a buy because I hit limit and I said I want it at $62, not at the current going price of $62.27, okay? You can also do good till canceled. Now what that'll do is it won't just cancel it at the end of the day. It'll keep that open for a period of 60 days. So if you think maybe in a couple of days, this has a chance of dropping to $62, heck, even maybe you think it's gonna have a bad week and go to $59, whatever the example would be, you can set that right on the limit price. And good till canceled means it's gonna sit there as a pending order until it hits that strike price. And once it does, it's gonna execute the buy. The same thing happens, by the way, if you try to sell, which we'll get to once we get to selling our stock, okay? What's cool about Webull, remember, is that you can do extended hours. The typical market time of the stock market is 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time to 4 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The extended hours are both in the beginning and the end of that trading period. So on Webull, they allow you to trade before the market opens from 4 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. They call that pre-market hours. And then you have the post-market hours of 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So that's what's cool about Webull, and I think that differs from Robinhood and a few others. By the way, a lot of you called me out on that Robinhood video saying, hey, you missed the most important thing, and that's trading hours. And you're absolutely right, because Webull allows you to trade. Let's say you're at work all day, you don't have time to hop on your Webull app. Well, now you can do it after the market closes and still execute the trade thanks to their extended trading hours. You just gotta click that little yes button next to extended hours if you wanna do that. And that again, of course, will be more for like the day, or if you do good till canceled, it's gonna give you a wider range of, okay, we're gonna keep an eye on this. If it hits $59 or below, we're gonna, within 4 a.m. to 8 p.m., we'll keep an eye on it and we'll execute that trade should that limit price be hit, okay? Most people, however, if you don't use limit, you're probably just gonna use market, which means, dude, I just wanna buy a share. That's all I wanna do, and that's perfectly fine. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna buy one share of O, and I'm gonna show you exactly how this works. You can see right down here, we're gonna do time and forces day. I'm not going to mess around with that at all. Estimated amount is $62.26, okay? And that's all I'm gonna worry about. And then I'm gonna hit the buy button right down below here. Buy, confirm. Boom, it does a little bit of a cool little dance there, goes into your open orders, immediately executes it. And now you can see my cash balance has come down on the main screen. It's now at $420.33. But if you look here, I now own an additional share. I had 15 shares of O. I now have 16 shares because I purchased another share. Now remember, my dollar cost average will creep up a little bit because it's trading right now at $62.30. and my dollar cost average is at 61.92. So don't worry so much about that. I'm more of a fan of constant, consistent investing. Don't worry about the market and if it's up, down, sideways, or upside down. If you stay consistent with the market over a long period of time, you have a greater success of being successful with your investments. Don't try to time the market. If you want to do that, just go to a casino and put all your money on the roulette table. The other way you could buy a share is to hop over to the watch list. And this is where we go into what we talked about a little bit earlier, which is research. You could do some research on whatever type of share you want to do. Let's say we are going to research PFF. This is another equity that I own. This is an ETF. Right now going for $37. I'm going to look at the news. Okay, so this is what's going on there. Talking a little bit about Bitcoin. We'll look at the comments. A lot of people are saying this is going to be bullish. Look at that. 100% say this is going to be bullish. I'm going to go ahead and vote on that. So this is another way, as you're doing your research, as we showed you a little bit earlier, you just hit the blue trade button and on you'll go. You'll come back to the same screen we were just at in the main account. So it's really up to you how you want to get to this point, but it's the same process. Now remember, you got to keep in mind, what do I have in my cash balance? And then you can kind of go through and see how many you want to buy. So let's say, for example, we're going to buy, let's do 5. So 5 shares of PFF. You can see my estimated amount down here is $189.85. I'm going to buy it at the market. Everything's cool. Go down, hit buy, confirm, boom, done. Okay, now let's go back. I'm going to go back to the main investment. You can see now my cash balance is even lower at $230.48. The reason behind that is because, of course, we just bought some PFF. So I'm now up 20 shares of PFF for a total of $759.40 for that particular ETF. And my average price is actually at $38. That means that it's actually trading under what my dollar cost average is, which is why you see the red on the far right-hand column. Pretty cool. That's all good. That is how you buy a share of stock or an ETF here on Webull. I hope that is helpful. One thing I want to talk about that's really important when it comes down to buying a share of an ETF or a stock, and I mentioned this in my Webull versus Robinhood video, and that is you cannot use fractional shares yet. Hey, Webull, if you're watching this video, come on, you can overpower pretty much any investment app at this point if you would just allow fractional shares. Now, if you're a beginner, you're not sure what I'm talking about with a fractional share, let's say you got $5 and you want to invest in Apple. Well, on the Webull platform, you can't just do that. So let me give you an example. If I hit quick trade and I type in Apple, I'm just going to search Apple. There you go. AAPL, that's what I want. And let's say I want to buy, oh, look at that, a quantity of 1. I got to put up $135 to buy a share of Apple. I don't know if I feel good about that. What am I going to do? I only have $5. I only want to invest $5. Well, see, the thing is, with Robinhood and with some of these other investment apps, they give you the ability to invest $5, and while you don't get a full share of Apple, you'll get a fraction of that. It could be whatever that is, whatever $5 is worth at the time. And then as the market grows and lowers and all that other kind of stuff, your $5 will either go up or down, depending on the performance of that particular stock or ETF. With Webull, you want to buy it, you got to pony up the dough. Now, if this has changed, by the time I did this video, I will pin a comment down below in the comment section with an update video, because obviously things change. Maybe Webull watch this video and they're hearing the people and they're saying, okay, we get it. We now allow fractional shares. That would be amazing. Let's sell some stock. These are your positions, okay? Right down below here are all of your positions. I want to sell Funko. I'm not really into keeping Funko. I have 10 shares of that. I'm going to sell all of it. Look at what my current price is. Okay, now I am down $4.20. Oh well, who cares? But my quantity and market value is $127.10. So if I'm okay selling for a little bit of a loss, that's what you're going to be doing. You simply click on the position that you want to sell. And then at the very bottom of the chart, you want to hit sell. And it's going to take you over to a screen that looks very similar to when you buy, but of course you're going to be selling. Now, a couple things you can do. Let's say I believe that this particular stock is going to go up a little bit. You can go back to that limit order. It works a little bit different though. You want to say, I want to sell it only once it hits, let's say $13. Let's see if I can scroll it over here to $13. Right there it is. Yeah, oh, by the way, you can also type it in. If you don't want to deal with the scroller, you can just type it in $13. Now, a limit order when it comes down to selling only executes if the share price hits 13 or above. It's not going to execute a sell if it goes below 13. So it works in an opposite of effect of a buy order. But I can say, look, I don't want to sell it at $12.71 because it's too much of a loss that I don't want to deal with. So I'm going to set it as a limit to $13. I want to sell all 100% of my current position, which is 10 shares. My time in force will either be day or good till canceled. I can click yes on extended hours if I wish to do so, and then it will let you know the estimated amount of what you will make. Now, of course, I can go silly and say I want to sell once it hits $130. Actually, let's do $1,300. So once Funko hits $1,300, I want to sell. Look at that, I'll make $13,000. But obviously the reality of that shooting up that high is next to nothing, especially during the day time in force, so you're dreaming. That order will be canceled out at the end of the night. But anyway, so that's what limit is all about. But so again, most people just trade on the market. Nothing wrong with that at all. I'm going to sell all 100%, which is 10 shares of my position in Funko, okay? So sell, there's the quantity, 10 shares, time in force is day, and then it says estimated amount, $127. Sounds like a deal. And remember, Webull has no commissions. Back in the day, brokerages would say, okay, we're gonna take $9 of that for your commission for trading this stock. You don't have to worry about that anymore. Webull makes it easy. You do this and you take the money. It's amazing. I'm gonna hit sell. Here comes my little order confirmation again. I'm gonna say, okay, this all looks good. I'm gonna sell Funko, quantity of 10, at the market price today. And because the market is still open, I will be good to go. So confirm. Bye-bye Funko. We go back to the main screen, my friends, and look, we no longer have Funko under my positions, but my cash balance just went up. Now it's back up to $357 as a result of trading out Funko and selling it. All right, guys, I have a decision to make. I got $357.29. What do I do with it? I have a couple options. Now, of course, I have an incoming transfer of the $5 that I shared with you earlier on how to do that. I could transfer this out. I could transfer $357 out to my bank, but I don't want to. I want to invest that in the stock market. So I have an option. What do I want to do? And this is where I go into my strategy mode. I say, okay, well, what's going well? Let's see. Maybe I go into the watch list and I look at, okay, well, let's do some research. What's hot and sexy right now? You know, I like O because they give all these dividends. If I go over to press releases down here under my research, I can look at the dividends that they're paying out. Look at this, 23 cents is coming. Ex-dividend date of 129. Well, that's after the time, so I'm gonna have to wait for this. But it pays out on 2/16, so I'll have to wait. So I could buy this at this time, and then because I know it's a monthly paying dividend, I'm sure their ex-dividend day will probably be on like February 28th. So if I increase my holdings in O, and it's another 23 cents that they pay next month, I have an opportunity to up my ante, and you multiply 23 cents by 5 shares, 10 shares, 20 shares, or whatever my position is, I could give myself a 23-cent raise per month. Doesn't sound like a lot, but over a period of time, that could be helpful. Let's look at their financials. This is another thing I didn't share earlier while we were going through our investigation of research, but I think this is important too. You got the EPS, right? Actual and estimate. This is important to look at. So look at Q4 2019. That purple dot is the estimate of what the analyst thought their earnings per share were going to be. But the blue dot is where they actually came in. So they outperformed the expectations in Q4 2019. Pretty cool. Yeah, look over here at Q3 though. That stunk. Look at that. The estimate was high and their earnings per share were pretty much in the toilet. Well, that was probably due to the pandemic and everything going on there. And then Q4 is still TBD, but their earnings release comes out, as you can see down below here, on 2/22/21. Now, that EPS estimate is 35 cents. We'll have to see. Did they hit that? Did they go above that? Did they go below that? Something to keep an eye on. You got to think, you know, you have the world at your fingertips when it comes down to the Webull investing app. Don't use it to overwhelm you. Start off small and continue to build. The best thing I could recommend, hop over to Audible. I have a link down below to Audible where you can go and look at some great investment books. In fact, I do that all the time, guys. I have it on Audible, and as I'm driving around, I'm listening to audiobooks on how to invest better and how to understand charts and graphs and things like that better. As a beginner, start off with Webull, but just start off with the basics. And then as you grow and learn, and do some audiobooks, do some reading, do some research, you can become a smarter and more efficient investor. And then you can look through all of these different things that they have, such as their ROA And look at this, debt to asset ratio, and all of these different things so you can make better informed decisions. Don't wait and try to learn and become like a doctorate in investing. Start now, start small, start with money you're okay losing, and then over a period of time, you can continue to scale it up, and you learn, and you get better. And then before you know it, you might be sitting here like I am with $6,000 or more. Maybe you have $100,000. Congratulations. Get started today. Get yourself the free stocks. Click the link down in the description below. So until next time, tap that like button, watch these videos right over here, and we'll see you next time.